his opponent. Spawning up in the top right, representing Alpha X, it is the BattleB. Or sorry, is he Genesis Gaming now? Wait. Did I just brain?
You just brain. It's okay, I brain too. I was also very much of the opinion that it was Alpha X, and I kind of forgot the fact that Alpha X used to have BattleB and Acheron, right?
Yes.
And they released BattleB to Genesis Gaming, and they kept Acheron. And BattleB and Acheron are both in this group. They're both Terran players. It had me very confused as things went on, and I trusted my own memory and steadfast. Well, you know what? That's the worst thing to do. Trusting your own mind. It's not a good way to play this game.
Yeah, no, I try not to think at all when I play. I just mash buttons on the keyboard and then get onto the Battle.net forums and, mash more buttons about how my race is too hard, And that's mostly my day. That's a video game day for me.
I mean, shout out to the time when Zerix had auto injects and you just had to put the queen near the hatchery in Legacy of the Void beta, and it just made life so easy.
That was. I can't believe they even thought that was like a reasonable thing to do.
I mean,
oh god.
Which was really sad though, because they got rid of the rapid fire inject method where you just kind of hold two buttons and it would inject it. I mean, that got me up two or three leagues back in the day. Just was like, yes, I don't have to worry about injects anymore. It's every 40 seconds. And there we go. It's almost auto inject. It was very nice. And I guess yeah.
I feel like you can still do that, can't you? It just, you have to perfectly time the key presses, and most people don't do it because it's like just not all that good.
No, because inject queuing. Because of inject queuing,
yes,
the queens start to wander, and it doesn't work unless you are millisecond perfect.
Yeah.
So
true. Yeah, that's a very valid point. Now, we talked about this a little bit in the early game, or pre-game, I should say. This is still a $125 show match, and both players are going to be definitely looking for this. I think BattleB is going to want to win this one for his career ascendancy. Drogo only picking up one series so far. This is not a great paycheck for him so far. He's really going to want to get a little bit rolling in that regard.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, it's actually kind of funny here. We look at things as we talk about Drogo and where he's standing. Drogo, if we go by maps, he's actually ahead of Cristiano, but of course, maps are not exactly how this thing is sorted. It's match score first. But if he wins this series, he will be in 7th place, not 8th. Because, again, he will have that map score advantage over Cristiano there. And what that will mean is, this is, for Drogo at least, this is more than a $125 show match. This is, of course, the $125, or I think it's $150 for winning the best of 3. But also the benefit of moving up one rung on the group ladder, and that has its own prize pool associated with it. Really turning this for Drogo at the very least into like a $275, $250 show match. Still, not as much as finding your way on into the playoffs, but certainly something to fight for. As look at this from BattleB. He's getting a little bit aggressive here in this game, number one, really taking a page out of Clem's book, where it's like, yeah, I got my early 6 Marines. I got a medevac. I got a Widowmine. I got a medevac. Let's do something. I don't want to sit back here to defend. I want to do something on the map. I don't know if it's going to get all that much done, but certainly it's an interesting idea.
Yeah, and it is going to hit just before Blink is completing. He will lose the... Oh, that's very fortunate that he keeps that Widowmine alive. And... Oh, he unburrows. Oh, that was... If he was closer with the medevac, maybe he could have gotten away with that. As it stands, yeah, it doesn't really achieve much. Loses the Widowmine, loses the Hellion, gets a Scout, but a double Widowmine drop would have been more effective in that case.
Yeah, I mean, a good job there from Drogo to send that probe forward to force the unburrow on the Widowmine, because that was a Warp Prism that was just about done. And that Warp Prism eating a Widowmine shot to start would have been extremely problematic there for Drogo, but he's fine. And how many gateways does he? So he's on... This is interesting from Drogo here. This is a 2-gate Blink attack with a Warp Prism. That is not something you see every day, but he's going to get stim.
Yeah, that's a really nice pickoff. It's not far along, so it's not critical. Oh, he actually blinks further into the main, and he is picking off quite a few SCVs. This is pretty decent damage out of Drogo. This is... Oh, but he will lose 2 Stalkers right there. But he's got the Marines nicely choked up. They are kind of caught on that mineral line. And he's going to get out with 4 Stalkers. Do you think that was worth it for Drogo? Yeah, he only loses 3.
I think yes, strictly because he delayed stim. I mean, yes, he got worker damage and he was able to delay the army of BattleB some, but getting stim there means that that 7:30 timing that BattleB is going to want to hit with stim +1 combat shields. That's going to be closer to 8-minute timing now, maybe an 8:15, which means that, well, all the gateways from Drogo are going to be done, which means his charge is going to be done. The Stalkers are still here, actually finding significant value. The tank will be able to force them back, but there is that. There we go. No disable on the Warp Prism, but still finding value, and now Steadfast. It's not even a question. That is worth. 5 more workers go down, grand total of, I think, 10. Couple of Marines go down, and the delay on the stem. That is really the delay on the stem is the big deal here.
Yeah, I do want to point out, I'm not a big fan of Drogo's decision right here. So he gets a lot of damage done, a decent bit of damage done, then gets I mean, the initial decision was after he got a little bit of damage done, but delaying stim means that the push is delayed. So he didn't need to go straight up to this massive gateway explosion before getting like a forge, before getting a little bit more tech. But he still goes for this very, I would say, conservative play where he doesn't really take advantage of the game state that he put himself into. I find that weird, you know? Like, I would have liked a little adjustment in response to doing that damage.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
That's valid. He doesn't know that he got stim, though. Right? He knows he got a tech lab that was researching something. He doesn't necessarily know that that was stim. Although, actually, I believe that was the only tech lab researching something.
Yeah, exactly. It was the only tech lab. So it has to be either stim, or if it's combat shields, then it's a very early combat shields. And either way, you're, like, well prepared for it by delaying that. That being said, this is a really nice usage of the quick charge and quick gateway count that he did get, but the Widow Mines in the main base will get some great defensive shots, and he only loses 2 Widow Mines and a Marauder for 6 Zealots. That's pretty good. Now he's pushing forward with a big attack.
Now, again, before this actually, as this tech hits Summoners, we'll talk about that in a second here. As the Dorito Cannon goes on down, Drogo, was that warp in a mistake in the main base? No, it looks like with the warp ins here, yeah, he's going to be able to clean this up. No problem. Zealot's getting on top of these tanks. The tanks will go down, and at that point, really, the strength of this army is not there anymore. Warp Prism going to drop a single Zealot add-on into the fray, because why not? This is going to get broken back here. But you talk about what he should have done, or whether he should have changed things. He did have charge just about 50%, 60% done when he found that value. So really, it just felt a lot of it's like, yeah, he could have reacted, but he already had set his plan in motion at that point. So it's like, well, do I go and do I cancel all this stuff that I'm building because I found this value, or do I just kind of go with it and now go try to kill my opponent because I have this kind of tempo advantage here, just like what we're seeing Drogo attempt to do in this game. Widowmine shots are nice there, Steadfast, but are they going to be enough here?
It's going to be very close. This is a very dedicated attack from Drogo. It is actually, so he was actually intending to all in, I think, from the start of this game. Because, yeah, he still hasn't got, he just now starts a forge, starts double forge, in fact. Will Immortal drop into the main base? Ooh, decent Widowmine shots there. One of them was a little bit friendly fire, though. What do you, I kind of like this Immortal drop, but I wonder if he'd had it with the main army because it's so Marauder heavy, if things would have gone a lot better for him. Oh, never mind. Yeah, he might just actually overwhelm BattleB right here.
I love what he's doing. Yeah, again, with this Immortal drop here. Notice he's target firing SCVs down. But the first thing he was doing, he was target firing down the reactor on that factory. So less Widow Mines, which means this army that Drogo has is going to be that much more impactful. But there you go, Steadfast. We have a drop on into the natural as well. This game is getting wild. It's getting crazy. It's getting wacky. And that Widow Mine shot is going to make it all worthwhile here. Army supplies are even. Worker values, it's down for BattleB significantly. But he was able to equalize some of it. But with the warp into the main base, it's not going to be enough. GG, Drogo, he takes game 1.
And that's going to be a big confidence booster for Drogo. Like we said, his future feels a little bit, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what's going on in his mind, but you've got to be feeling not good about how this group is going. And you have this young upstart in BattleB, and, you know, it's one of those things where you're not feeling the greatest if you lose that, but a nice statement game from him in game number 1. And that's going to make him feel a lot better about how he's doing, I think.
Yeah, no, it is insane how much value 2-gate blink with a warp. I mean, warp prism, sure, but really that warp prism didn't warp anything in. It just was an extra blink there. It's insane how much value that got in that game. It got 10 workers, it got a stim, it delayed everything from BattleB. And then, of course, with the warp prism, I mean, we saw what it did to charge later on, really forced BattleB into an all-in position where it's too late. I mean, yeah, Dorito Cannon's fantastic, but not into 9 gateways. That style that Drogo had, mass charge, 3 gas, 2 gas, is designed to swallow up these +1 stim combat shield timings. And especially if you're ahead, I mean, it's not going to work out well for the Terran player.
Yeah, and that was even with Oxide using that excellent tank position outside the third base, where it's just so difficult to engage into as Protoss. So, yeah, that's a really encouraging game for Drogo. Really encouraging game.
Absolutely. But now we're going to have to see whether he can build on that, find his way to a 2-0, or whether it's going to be 1-1 steadfast. Before we get into game number 2, 2-0, 1-1.
1-1.
1-1. Got it. See whether that happens as we game 2 right now. In the bottom left here, in the red for Ultra Esports, he is the French Protoss player, up 1-0 in this series. Looking to move up, redeem himself maybe a little bit in this group. He is PtitDrogo.
And his opponent, will he be able to make the adjustment in game number 2 representing Genesis Gaming? It is BattleB. I gotta say, that was really nice from Drogo. That was really nice. It seems like, so I was talking about not making adjustments on the fly, but there's also something to be said with picking a game plan and just sticking with it and saying, I'm gonna go for what I'm gonna go for. And it worked out really well. Now, oh, that's really nice. That's a big pick off on this NG Bay block.
Yeah, this is such a BattleB move, too. There is maybe Euthermal in Europe, but there are no players that I see that go and love this eBay block far more than BattleB. Wait, please. Okay, that was a last-second cancel. Very well done.
Yeah, that was 7 HP.
Like, oh, no, is he going to let it go? Is he going to let it die here? Because generally you see it like 20, 25, 30. You know, it's got a tick bar on it when you cancel that. But no, BattleB, he was paying attention. Yeah, BattleB, he does this more than anyone else, and he really, his MO, we saw that in game 1 with the weird, 6 Marine Widowmine drop. His modus operandi is to try to make his opponent uncomfortable. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes you're just all over the map. You're putting pressure on. You're just suffocating your opponent. We saw BattleB do too strange a couple days ago, and sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes you're out on the map, you lose some units, and then your opponent is able to kind of slip a knife between your ribs, and it doesn't matter how hard you're pummeling them, you're bleeding out anyways.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unnecessarily dark. You get the point.
It's very, very dark, yes. But it's true. Like it's something that I think Hero Marine has become incredibly adept at in TVP, and he has really made a name for himself doing so. Initially, it was something that it was very difficult to find that balance. But as he got better and better at it, how he's very good at always taking cost-efficient trades. Now, I think BattleB, initially I said he's very similar to a Clem-type player, but I'm starting to see a lot more shades of Hero Marine as well with really good decision-making. And as he tries to kind of emulate that style and make it his own, there will be some stumbling blocks, but I'm very excited about this kid's career.
So, Steadfast, what I'm hearing here is BattleB in 2022, because I still feel like we're in 2020. Like, let's be real here.
It feels like it, yeah.
This run by, yeah, this is going to be a dead stalker at the very least. The depth should survive, though. There we go. Will escape. What I'm hearing here, you say, Steadfast, is we're going to have BattleB in 2022 with the micro and just pressure abilities of Clem and the game sense and decision-making abilities of Hero Marine all in one ultimate for a Terran player.
Can you imagine that? That would be amazing. That would be so cool. That's actually truly terrifying, because that means his TVZ is world class, his TVP is world class, and his TVT is world class. And at that point, you're talking about one of the best players of all time. If that happens. Now we are going to see the shield. Oh, it stays alive with 4 HP. Will get picked off. This is a nice little pressure out of BattleB, and I kind of like that he did this.
This is not standard. There we go. The Cyclone will go down, so this pressure really is done now.
Yeah, well, actually, no, he has a second Cyclone showing up. I like this in response to having killed the initial Stalker and almost killing that Adept. This is a lot of pressure, and this is something that Hero Marine will do, is he'll move across the map with a handful of Marines and 2 Cyclones. If he had kept that first Cyclone alive, this is still going, and it's probably finding more and more damage. There's only 2 gates for Drogo. Like this was very close to getting to a snowball position, I feel.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But Drogo here, you talk about he has prevented the snowball. There was a rock that stopped it from really gathering too much steam, but we have the same build we saw from Drogo in that previous game. It is 2 gateways. He has the Warp Prism. This time, though, he does not have nearly as many Stalkers to run out on the map at this point. Nice supply block for a while, too. That is rather unfortunate. I mean, yeah, third base is going to solve that. Pylons are going to solve that, but still, you want your stuff. To put a lack of a better term here, you want to make sure that you have your production, especially when you're going for 2-gate pressure, because that's not a lot of production. You got to make sure you're hitting your cycles as they need to be. Now, I think that number of Stalkers is roughly the same. There was 7 or 8 Stalkers last time. No, it was 7 Stalkers. 3 go down and 2 survive, but now the Stalkers are going to find their way out into the main base here. On top of these Marines, the tank will go down. 1 Stalker, I believe, has died in exchange, but again, we're just seeing that really excellent Warp Prism micro from Drogo at this point. But okay, yeah, he's going to blink on in. Does he get 5 workers steadfast?
He might get exactly that. Oh, he gets 4. Okay. I was going to say that he might actually get exactly that. Yeah, he only loses 3 Stalkers, kills a Cyclone, a tank, 4 SCVs, and 2 Marines. That's incredible value. Fortunately for BattleB, he does not cancel Stim. That would have been catastrophic. Man, I can't believe he got that much damage with how well positioned that first tank was. That was like really well positioned, and he still got a lot done.
Yeah, so here's the question, Steadfast, as we look at how this game is going. Now BattleB is moving out. Which is worth more? Delaying Stim or getting a tank when you are Drogo and expecting this +1 Stim combat shield timing push coming on in from BattleB?
Oh, if the Stim was that far along, absolutely killing Stim. If it's like, you know, maybe 10 or 20% of the way done, I would say killing a tank is probably more valuable. But killing Stim when it was, you know, 15, 20, 30 seconds away from finishing, that is the golden goose of Protoss value.
Now, that being said, though, I mean, only 1 tank here makes this push not all that powerful, and this is a wide open area for BattleB to look to push on into. Now, of course, this push is a lot faster than it was on the last one. Charge is not done. Charge still about, 20 seconds-ish from completion. Drogo's not going to be able to warp in quite as many Zealots to make this happen. Actually, he's got to be careful about this Warp Prism, as the Bio will get on top of it, not knocking that down. But BattleB, he saw what happened last game. He knows what he's got to worry about here. So he's going to go back. He's going to retool. Is he going up to... He doesn't have a third base underway. Yeah. So he's going up to... This is a 5-rack all in from BattleB in this game, too.
Yeah, this is a very dedicated push. I just want to point out, by the way, I would love if this Marine were right on top of the Widowmine. That would make me so happy if he just hit that with the Marine's body, because Widowmine doesn't quite kill a Warp Prism, but with the Marine's support, would get it. Oh, is he going to push it in? Push it into the Widowmine. Do it.
It's on hold position.
I was on hold. Yeah. Nice.
But hey, no, that's a big army from BattleB coming on in here. He's up like 20 supply, and part of that, of course, is the Warp Prism on the far side. Charge is dumb steadfast, but it's only 1 Archon. There is no Storm. Oh, the tanks at the front, though. This is not going to get a lot of... Did he get a single shot off?
I don't think so. I think it got picked off immediately, and that Guardian Shield helping out a lot as well. Blink forward, or blink to the side from Drogo. I always love those little maneuvers where you don't blink right on the army, and he's actually going to get a lot done to this army of BattleB. BattleB will escape through the acceleration zone, but Drogo a little bit hot on his heels. These Zealots, they are very lost. What were they doing
They
there?
just wanted a really quick teleportation back to the mothership.
Oof. Well, they got their wish.
It's always interesting. Like, every other unit in StarCraft dies when it dies. Zealot's like, oh, yes, teleport. I'm fine. We're here. My soul escapes. Which is interesting because they still make a dying sound, but, I mean, you see the little teleportation whiff. Anyways, BattleB here. His army is still... He's doubling the army supply of his opponent at this point. Storm is not done for, like, 50% duration at this point. I don't know if there's Chrono on it, but certainly BattleB, he's got a big flank coming on in. Now, he's playing a little bit too conservative. He doesn't know that Storm isn't done yet. He sees the Osai Templar, and that's got to be a little bit scary. Just trying to really force this army into the Widowmine field. But I feel like BattleB, like, his timing is right now. Just go on in there before all of the Storm is done, because now Storm is done here. And with all the Marines that BattleB has, this is a lot harder of a push to make happen.
Yeah, but I like that he didn't push in because he didn't know for a fact that Storm wasn't done. That to me is shades of Big Gabe, you know? Like, you see a bunch of High Templar with energy, you really don't feel like you can go in. And in fact, he got a Ghost Academy, and even though he's still on 2 bases, still doing that 5 racks push, he goes for the enhanced shockwaves. Now, this was a very bold move from BattleB. Will pull back as he sees that it was spotted, but man, that could have been disastrous for him.
Yeah, but we do have a drop in the third base here from BattleB because he's never in one place at any given time. Shades of Clem, you talk about shades of his heroes. He's going to get 8 workers here. That is going to be doing a great job to try to equalize this economy in some way, shape, or form. I mean, it's still heavily in Drogo's favor. He's up 10 workers. He does have an extra base, but it's getting closer. And BattleB, he's just trying to build this big army that he's going to be able to break Drogo down with these ghosts, with all this bio. And if he can do just something to get the economy some way closer, it's going to be a little bit better for him. But I mean, look, Drogo's, he's got his 4th base underway at this point. This push coming out from BattleB right now, where he, by the way, his supply lead's not as big as it was. It's only just about 10, 15 supply at this point. This is going to have to be the push that's going to make this happen. Anything after this, I mean, I think Drogo's economy is just going to be too dang powerful. But like ships crossing the night, hey, that's going to be a free immortal.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. Also, it's important to note the only splash damage is that storm and is those Archons. And that's going to be really tough to deal with. Ghosts with enhanced shockwaves are going to do so well against that. It will be all up to that Storm War Prism combo. Ooh, Widowmine does hit an Archon in the backfield. Bit of a flank coming in here from Drogo. The War Prism almost goes down. He throws down a really weird Storm. Drogo engaged this so awkwardly, and he might... Yeah, I do not like his ability to hold this now.
No, I don't. I mean, those storms, they're getting on top of the Liberators, but for the most part, they are whiffing here. That one's going to be very good, though. BattleB, though, he's still massively ahead in supply at this point. He's got the concave bunch of Marines against a bunch of Immortals. We know how that game, that happens rather easily there for the bio. He's up 1-1 versus just 1-0. He's going to come crushing on in. Warp Prism is going to get target fire down. The Immortals die. Everything dies. GG BattleB. He takes game number 2.
And that's what I was looking for from BattleB there. The very calculated aggression. Still a very aggressive player, but thinking about a lot of what he was doing. It would have been so easy to be like, oh man, I hope he doesn't have Storm. There's no way he has Storm, right? He just committed so much resources, which would have been the correct call. But the smarter decision was to be like, okay, Ghost Academy. Yeah, he's got so much energy on those High Templar. He must have had that Templar archives for a long time, which he did have it for a decent bit of time, but he didn't have Storm right away. And BattleB makes the right read based on the information he had. It was the wrong read in the game, but I think it was the correct strategic decision, and he gets rewarded very hard for it. And now we're going to game 3.
You know, absolutely. It's one of those things that I'm like, I was looking at that decision as much as you say, given knowledge, you're assuming there's Storm in that army. I was still he was only on 2 bases, right? Drogo was going up to 4. The economic deficit was such that he really, by not attacking there, he only gave himself one more opportunity to make something happen. And it did work out for him. It turned out to be the proper move, but what a gutsy move that is, because you're just falling behind every second you don't kill your opponent when you're sitting there on 2 bases as the Terran player. So really great job there from BattleB to make the read, to figure out exactly what he had to do to win that game. And now Steadfast, there's now 1 game to rule them all, 1 game to find them, 1 game to bring them all, and in the darkness figure out what exactly our standings are going to be in Group B. Pretty sure that's not how the original poem went, but it's fine because we're here, we're ready. Let's get in to game 3. In the bottom left here, in the red, you're looking at the main base of the French Protoss player, tied up in this series 1-1 for Ultra Esports, PtitDrogo.
And his opponent spawning up in the top right, evening the series at 1 apiece, representing Genesis Gaming. It is the BattleB. And there is a good chance, you mentioned standings could change for Drogo. They can actually also change for BattleB if he can win this series. He is currently at 6th in his group, and if he were to be able to win this and then Strange lost, he would go up to 5th in his group, which is effectively... So once again, this turns this from a $125 show match for BattleB into a $325 show match, basically.
Yeah, I mean, BattleB's going to take that one if he wins. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of funny. So, that fly-in that we just showed, I wrote it, and I misread the tiebreaker rules. I thought it was map score above everything else because map score is #1 tiebreaker in terms of sorting. So right now it's showing Drogo is in like 6th place at 1 and 5 on matches, just because critical thinking is lost on this man, but it's fine. And Drogo is still in last place here, but yes, we do see BattleB winning this series. He does have a chance to really, as you said, maximize his earnings in this season. And really, if he can say, look, I was one map away from qualifying into the playoffs, that's going to be some really nice motivation as we look into Last Chance, DreamHack Last Chance, and then we look into DreamHack 2022.
Yes, it's going to create a hunger in him. And I think, actually, speaking of standings, Drogo, if he does beat BattleB, he would actually leapfrog BattleB as well, which would mean that he would jump 2 spots in the group.
Would it be
if he? Yes, because he would leapfrog. Wait, actually, who won between Cristiano and Drogo?
I know that, but how would the map score work? I don't have a screen for this.
Yes, because BattleB is. Oh wait, hang on. Oh, it depends on if Team Liquid properly updated everything. If they're tied on maps and that would go to head to head, which would be better for Drogo.
Yes.
It all depends on how the Liquipedia programming is. But we'll come back to you at the end of this. But this is potentially a $325 show match for BattleB and possibly an even bigger one for Drogo.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, what would that be? That would be him jumping. Yeah, this could be a $425 show match for Drogo, potentially.
Well, no pressure here in game number 3. Drogo, you win, you get $425. You lose, and you don't get any of that. No pressure, though. Play a good game, have fun. I would love to make $425 for for winning a best of 3. That sounds ideal.
Yeah, right. That's a pretty advantageous situation.
Not as ideal as qualifying to playoffs and getting a whole lot more money, but still, it's not a bad day in the office, I guess. As we do have BattleB doing that same thing once again. It is the same rally, by the way, Steadfast. This is not kind of your I'm going to move out with 5 Marines and a Cyclone and do whatever. He does have that second Cyclone underway, but this time you talk about the decision making of Hero Marine. You talk about the decision making really of BattleB here. He's gonna hold back. He's not gonna be super aggressive with that Cyclone early on. Instead, he's gonna find his third base. And by the way, this is a very quick third base here from Drogo, going down to right around 350. And it's going to get I wish the Cyclones had locked onto, or the Marines and the Cyclones had locked onto the same thing. Because there actually could have been some true damage. But even then, Cyclone will go down. The Marines are going to get forced off back here. Only 1 Starker dies this time instead of the 2 or 3 that we saw die in the previous game at this point. So Drogo, he's going to be very happy with this one.
Yeah, that was really excellent target fire on that first Cyclone. I thought he was out of range. I thought for sure that first Cyclone was not going to be able to get hit by enough Stalkers. But Drogo had that down to like the millimeter of where those Stalkers needed to be, and he managed to get that pick off. And it really took the steam immediately out of this push. But that being said, BattleB is going to continue. He's pulling an SCV, and I think his intent right there was to build a bunker. Scan comes in here from Battle Booty, and this is a little bit tough right here.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about this. 2,000 atmospheres is not Oxide, but it might as well be when we talk about the third base pushing position. It's still scary. You still got the rocks. You still have that tank position there. But notice we saw Drogo go, and he target fired down the SCV first and foremost. It means no repairs on the tank and Cyclone. It means no bunker if that's what's happening. Now, Drogo, he's looking for a way to cut off the reinforcements, but there are no reinforcements coming from BattleB in this game. He understands that Drogo wants to do this. In fact, Drogo has attempted to do this to him multiple times. And it's going to be, what, 5-ish more tank? Okay, now the shield battery recharge is going to get popped here. This base is not going to go down for a while, and this is just buying Drogo time to build the army that he needs. More Blink Stalkers. Ideally, he can wait to charge, but the Immortal's going to go on in. This is going to be the break here. What's absolutely here? But the Immortal goes down. The tank dies. Yeah, but this is not exactly what Drogo wanted. You don't want to lose your tech units in this army. Certainly not.
No, that actually, I don't think Drogo was expecting Stim to be done with that, and I certainly wasn't. That ends up going very well for Drogo, but a lot better for BattleB than it probably had any business going. Drogo just clicked the Immortal right on the tank, and it ended up getting jumped on a little bit too easily by BattleB. That could have been saved for sure.
Yeah, now I'm getting a little bit worried about BattleB here. So he's 3-1-1. His starport is not yet done, though. And you do that, you make this push happen, and it did do damage to the third base. Sure, it did get an Immortal, fine, but BattleB doesn't have a ton of stuff at home now. His follow-up push is not going to be nearly as powerful as it might otherwise be, again, because he did lose a lot. Again, okay, so Drogo's not going to the value that he found in the previous 2 games. But I mean, he does have Colossus on the way now. He's not going for that no gas, lot of charge, lot idea. And you know, a 2-base all in. Okay, but he does have a 3rd base now. There. Okay. I was gonna say any sort of 2-base all in against a bunch of Colossus. That's when it's just bio. That is pretty scary. And this starport is late enough that it's not going to be a ton of Vikings for quite a while.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very scary, like you said. He is going straight up into Vikings. Actually going to be bypassing... Oh, wait, he canceled one Viking and started up a medevac. No, wait, no, it was always a medevac and a Viking. Yes. Oh, okay, so this isn't for Colossus. Yeah, this is to deal with the War Prism. Okay. I was going to say, that's actually insane if you just skip medevacs entirely after a pretty big stim.
I mean, okay, never mind. I was like, is he pulling the boys here with his 3rd baseman? No, those are just SCVs getting ready to mine from the 3rd. But Steadfast, I think we're going to have our hopes, our dreams. They're going to be secured here in this game number 3. This is not a game that Drogo is going to win fast. It's not a game that BattleB is going to win. Where did those zealots? BattleB's going to win all that fast, by the way. I'm not saying that he's going to lose. But where did those zealots come from? He recalled the War Prism. They just run across the map and I didn't notice.
I think they must have. Oh, that's a big mistake right there from BattleB. Had that medevac in front of his army. Will get jumped on a little bit here. Does siege his tanks in a really nice position. Oh, very bold blink forward from Drogo, but he ends up getting tagged by the concussive shells that actually auto splits the stalkers. BattleB does not want to move in here. Will move forward very aggressively with these tanks. Oh, bit of a mistake right there. The Marauders. Oh, in the backfield, they could have picked off the Colossus.
That is, oh man, that is such a missed opportunity there. That could have been 1 or 2 dead Colossus, but instead now BattleB, he's down 30 supply Steadfast. He's down 20 army supply. He's trying to make these pushes happen. He's trying to do aggressive BattleB things, and Drogo said, hold my beer. I have Colossus. I have charge. I have everything I need to make sure that your aggressive shenanigans don't work out. Now, one Colossus will get target fired on down here, but the Stalkers are doing a great job. More and more Zealots are getting warped on in. Colossus are firing strong, of course, with the extended thermal and Stalkers. They blink on top of the tanks. The army of BattleB is falling down. Look at the supply Steadfast. It's down 60. GG Drogo.